Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first video, and I have made it because I wanted to give back something to our community. This is a Wyvern Oracle build, which is much stronger in terms of DPS and survivability than Wyvern Druid, with a ton of possible customizations possible. Massive thanks to Pawnee, I have started leveling up my character using changes and improvements he was making in his own build, so I recommend checking out his channel. I could not find any Oracle Wyvern build out there, so I decided to make one myself. I could not show this build on Mobalytics or Path of Building because currently they are not supporting how Oracle nodes are working without being connected to the passive tree directly, so I will show it to you in this short video. This is not a leveling guide. For something like that, go to Pawnee's channel. He has made a nice videos and explained how it works in detail. This is an in-game, white, endgame build that has not been finished due to lack of time to provide necessary levels and resources. So let's start with short introduction to a Oracle. I have been using only these two Ascendancy nodes, the Unseen Path and Entwined Realities. With them, you gain access to completely separate passive nodes only accessible to Oracle, and there are some that are insanely strong and are working perfectly for us. They are represented with these blue lines between normal passive tree nodes. And with Entwined Realities, you can select passive nodes in medium range of selected key nodes, which is insane because it gives us access to some overpowered nodes, and normally you would have to invest a ton of points in tree in order to get to them. Skills that we are using are Rend, Devour, and Pounce, Oil Barrage for bosses, and later probably Flame Breath. Buffs are Herald of Ash and Eternal Rage. Since Oracle does not have plus 120 Spirit like Druid, we have to get first better equipment with additional Spirit in order to use Overwhelming Presence or Scavenge Blading. The first part of the passive tree is standard as used for Druid Wyvern. You come through the tree to get 20% increased damage, 30% increased shapeshifted damage and stun buildup, Bastille Rage to get increased damage per rage, then increased questioned increased stun buildup with extra strength, then 12 maximum rage, increased damage, and lastly Tribal Fury for splash damage. I have gotten an insane boost of damage changing from Druid Ascendancy to Oracle, and there is still a lot of room for improvement. Let me show you guys practically the difference between normal build that I have been using and after changing it to Oracle by deactivating these nodes and then reactivating them. Check out the DPS on my skills and what is happening as I am making these changes. By locating Zealof's Oath, we can now get Thickened Arteries without these two passive nodes, so we can use them somewhere else. Insane, right? But just watch, this is only the beginning. By locating Pain Attunement, we have gotten access to the Bringer of Order, which gives us flat 20% increased physical damage. We don't really care about critical damage in this build, so the effects of the keynote are of no consequences to us. But we have also gotten only strongest passives on this cluster, and with it gotten some free passes for later use. With Ancestral Bond, we have gotten Deadly Thorns, which are plus 35% physical damage, Electrified Claw, plus 8% gained additional lightning damage, and Dangerous Blossom gain additional 10% of damage as extra physical damage. Quite insane. Let's go on. Choosing Elemental Equilibrium has gotten us access to Left Hand of Darkness, which has provided gain additional 5% of damage of extra chaos damage, and Blood Tearing increased 25% physical damage. Going further on the tree, I have gotten Enhanced Barrier for extra 25% of energy shield, and since I am only level 69 currently, I cannot show you practically, but I can explain to you further plans. I can either go first down on the tree for Wild Surge Incantation in order to get access to the Eliminated Crown, which will get us 70% of increased energy shield on Helmet, and Profane Commander for 4% increased spirit. I have also chosen here this cluster only available to Oracle. It gives us a bunch of increased damage, namely increased damage increased physical damage 20%, and then increased fire, cold, lightning, chaos, and physical damage 30%. After that, we can continue further on tree and get ourselves Whispers of Doom in order to get access to electrified amplification to get additional 6% of damage as extra lightning damage, and Unbothering Cold to get some extra cold resistance. After that, I would get Patient Barrier for 60% increased energy shield and 25 extra intelligence if needed. So there are a lot of possibilities in where we can go. Now for Unseen Path in Oracle, there are 2 nodes that are just insane for our build. First one is here, and it is focusing on Rage. It will give us extra 21 points of Rage, and its downside of 200% faster start of inherent Rage loss is not going to happen because of our Eternal Rage buff that is constantly regenerating Rage. However, we should choose it only after getting Eternal Rage Spirit Gem. Look at the damage difference it makes without and with this nodes. Insane, right? Here is other possibility. With only 4 allocated passives, we get Unquenchable Iron to gain additional 18% of physical damage as lightning damage. I will allocate it after getting Amulet anointed with Tribal Fury, and thus saving a bunch of passive points. Possibilities are endless with Oracle, and not only with this build, but with others as well, and I would not get surprised if he gets massive nerfs in the future. One more change for leveling, I would suggest getting Trampletoe Trimmed Graves, who has played Reaper similar builds before. He knows what incredible help they are, because they are dealing 30% of overkill damage to foes in 2 meters radius. They can be equipped to level 30 and are currently costing about 5 to 6 exalts. Can be corrupted to get them with 2 gems and socketed for additional 10% movement speed. Until you get Tribal Fury, this is an incredible boost, and even after that, I will try and add Mobalytics guide in the future, so if you have found this video interesting, please like it and subscribe to the channel. I hope I will post updated videos in the future as I am leveling up. Thanks, and you see in future videos.